Welcome back to this second part of two videos, one podcast on Hoops and Cards as we wrap up the 2022 year. Happy New Year, everybody, as you celebrate around the world. This was a great year for us as a podcast at Hoops and Cards, joining the Basketball Forever Network, partnering in many ways with nooffseason.com, Paul, and the Sports Card Strategy Show. In fact, we'll be going live on Monday morning. So January 2nd, the Monday morning, it's wherever you're at in the world. I don't know, like morning in New York City, whatever, like Chicago. We'll be going live, but Sports Card Strategy Show, Card Ladder, Anchor, Behind the Card, Sheg Sports Cards. It is a thrill for me just as a person, let alone a sports fan and collector and content creator now, like all those things to meet and enjoy connecting with so many of you, and to wrap up this year thinking about what are the best next steps as we look to, I've gone over where are the players at, how are they performing. We've talked a bit about the card market, and yeah, it's down. The basketball card market, I believe, will, pun intended, rebound around the All-Star game leading up to that and the awards, Rookie of the Year. In fact, my Rookie of the Year, it's probably still Paolo, but Benedict Mathurin playing well. Jaden Ivey getting more run with Cade out. Keegan Murray starting some. Jabari Smith, Marjan Beauchamp. I'm listing all the rookies for you. If you want to know players to look at as, guys to find maybe in the next sets that come out, the Donruss eventually. I'd ignore the hoops and the draft picks, that. But there's Jalen Williams, Walker Kessler, AJ Griffin. Just make sure you get the right Jalen Williams. Apparently there's two Jalen Williamses, AJ Griffin, Jalen Duren, man, that crashed the boards in Detroit. Jeremy Sochan, Mark Williams getting some PT down there in Charlotte, and Andrew Nembhard. As they list all those names, I kind of like Jalen Duren as a sleeper, but not really buying into any rookies because there's not much to buy. I'm just saying the awards season, right? There will be players that push and get talked a lot about, and that you see a most improved candidate. Sometimes that's a breakout player that his card values will follow. This is a guy who's worth nothing a month ago, and in 3 months he could be worth something. It could be like the Darius Garland 2 years ago. He was basically a flop, a bad draft pick, and then 6 months later he's a starter and an all-star and a what? Like his card values did some good stuff, is what I'm saying. So most improved player candidates, you could talk about Anthony Simons, Michael Porter Jr., Devin Vassell. The Spurs going to get an MIP. I don't know. Kevin Porter Jr., that dude, KPJ, but were you going to give one to Houston? I like Lauri Markkanen, and maybe it's unfair to say he locked up that award in November. Like there's still another 50 games this NBA season. So all this stuff's premature. I'm just saying it's fun to pay attention to that. It's fun to pay attention to that as the season progresses. And so I want to give you my top 20 players to invest in moving forward as of right now. Moving forward, top 20 players to invest in. And I try to be objective. I really do, people. I know you get on here and you're like, Gary's going to talk about Maxey, Bane, Garland, Simons, Siakam. He's going to talk about those same players again and again. He's going to make a Chris Middleton joke. He might sneak Jaren Jackson Jr. in. Like, no, I'm not going to mention any of those guys. I'm just going to start at number 20, Jalen Green. Score. The rookie prices of his cards coming down as more cards release and more get graded. But Jalen Green looks upside long-term. Wow. Looks great. Number 20. Number 19, this might be just a temporary opportunity to buy Jordan Poole. With Steph out, Jordan Poole is putting up 30 a game and looks really good. Some of you bought in or messaged me and said, hey, is now a good time to buy Jordan Poole? I'm like, yes. Underneath the umbrella of me saying now might not be a good time to buy anything, especially players you don't like. All right. So if you're a Golden State fan, if you are a front runner, if you like Jordan Poole, then now's probably a good opportunity. But whenever you buy a card, you could have a plan. I mean, it would help to have some sort of strategy. Like, what am I going to do with it? Right? What am I going to do with that card? Because some people will message me and say, should I buy Jordan Poole right now? Like, I don't know if Jordan Poole is for sale, but there are various cards of his, and you could say, what's your purpose? Do you want to make try to make some money in the next 2 months. Number one is it's not a guarantee, but I think the chances are good. If you buy certain Jordan Poole cards at certain prices, people will take notice at what he's doing, and the card market will respond. Sometimes it's in a moment. This is a cool thing that I would unpack for you. So sometimes you see a player do something awesome, like Luka gets 60 points or whatever. Darius Garland gets 47, whatever it is. And you might say, oh, I got to buy some of those guys. I would be hesitant about an impulse buy based on a game. But if it's a player you've been watching for a while and saying, I wonder what his potential, I wonder what he could do long term. I wonder if he'll get the opportunities. I wonder if, but a guy then has a game or two or three that's like, wow, that's not just a moment for, that's showing what he can do to the world. Immanuel Quickley is doing that right now. And he's been one of my sleepers, one of my dude just needs an opportunity guys. And so here's his chance, man. He had 41, no, he had 36 last night. Like Immanuel Quickley looking good. There's that moment for him having a big game, right? But I'm also seeing those moments as if I needed any more confirmation, if this player that, again, I already enjoy his game, I already like watching him as a fan, but he keeps having these big performances. Then to buy is to say not a reaction to a moment, although you might want to avoid that little spike, because there are impulse buyers and sellers out there, all those crazies like you and me. we can work on impulses sometime. But let me get back to the list. Number 18, LaMelo Ball. Yeah, he's back. He's showing what he can do. Number 17, Damian Lillard. Solid Hall of Famer, playing awesome, looking good. Number 16, Darius Garland. He dropped 5 spots for me, but looks great on a Cavs team that's winning. And his card values are good deals right now. Number 15, Devin Booker dropped 6 points in this ranking. Number 14, Tyrese Halliburton. Yeah, Nathaniel. He's the best Tyrese. It's fun to say that when he's injured, when Maxi's out. Yeah, no, Halliburton's playing great. He's an all-star. 20 points plus, 10 assists plus, great percentages, playing like a veteran, making the Pacers good. Who saw that coming? Anybody see that? Oh, we did. We're in Indianapolis. Yeah, you didn't. You didn't see them being this good. They might hold it all together and make a deep playoff run. Number 13, Jaylen Brown. Good deal on that guy. Having a fantastic season again. Number 12, Anthony Edwards. Dropped a few spots because he was struggling and because other guys are rising. But Ant is playing great the last couple of weeks. Number 11, Steph Curry. Dropped 4 spots, kind of injury, kind of off the radar. Again, other guys moving up the list, like number 10, Kevin Durant. Duh. I'm saying some guys move up and they've already had that status. They've already had that awesomeness that this guy's a Hall of Famer too, you know? But as they lead Brooklyn to the top of the East, wow. I would say now is the time to get in if you love KD. Number 9, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Number 8, Donovan Mitchell. You've heard me talk about those guys. Number 7, Zion Williamson. He's up 8. Why do I do that? Why would I move him? Well, I think because a lot of people are still buying and selling Zions. In fact, if you go on eBay and you check sold listings ended recently, you can see a bunch more Zions are still buying and selling. He's still more popular to buyers and sellers than like maybe anybody I've mentioned so far. And it's because he came into the hobby and he came into the NBA with such hype, excitement. Reality check. He's a great player already. Like he's carrying that team without Brandon Ingram, and they're on fire. So that's why I move him up, because I do think his star is on the rise, and keep staying healthy. He's earning my trust. Number 6, Ja Morant. Down 4 spots, but I probably could have, any of these top 7 could be interchangeable. Number 5, the Joker. He's up 5 spots. I feel good about the opportunity with him. I feel great about Denver. I'm not crowning him an MVP just yet. I'm not saying Denver's going to the Western Finals just yet. I'm saying I'm taking notice at what he's building as far as a legacy. Number 4, Jason Tatum. down a spot. Number 3, LeBron James, up 2 spots. All right. With any of these, it's going to be, do you like the player? Would you enjoy having the cards of the player? Will you invest? And what do you want to do with that card? Because long term, there's some big moments ahead of LeBron. He's going to be in the public eye for a long, long time. He doesn't just want to play with his son. He wants to play with his sons. He wants to play till he's 45. So LeBron is he's going to set so many, you're going to hear the word unprecedented, like more an unprecedented number of times. LeBron jammies. LeBron, you're going to do it, man. Number 2, Luka Doncic, he's up to. Yeah, big games, big nights, people taking notice to him finally coming into MVP top 3, MVP front runner like conversation. Some people have Luka as the MVP right now. Dallas is bad. The supporting cast is bad. And they need to get on that. I can't believe they let Jalen Brunson go for pretty much nothing and have not surrounded this guy with Christian Wood's they're doing well. There's doing some Kemba Walker. You got Dorian Finney-Smith and Tim Hardaway. It's just that's not going to scare anybody in May. It's just not. Number 1 is still Giannis. And he's still here because MVP candidate. I really like where his card market is right now. I really like the entry points to buy a Giannis rookie. And I've done that. I've bought several. I've flipped or resold a couple. I'm keeping one, because I like him as a player. But here's the thing, you guys, as we enter 2023. In fact, I want to wrap this up with 4 takeaways. If you like tuned me out a minute ago, it's time to tune back in. It's Gary at Hoops and Cards giving you 4 things to focus on in January when it comes to this whole basketball card world. 4 things. Number 1, sharpen your skills. As a fan, a collector, sharpen your skills. What does that mean? Learn about the card market. Learn what's out there. Get a tool like Market Movers app. Get a tool like Card Ladder Pro. Get a tool like nooffseason.com. At any of those, you can use the Hoops and Cards promo to get a discount, but you already knew that. Sharpen your skills. Focus on that. That will help you moving forward immensely. Don't expect to, if you're brand new or you return to this, don't expect to be awesome at this buying and selling, or you have your collection where you want it after a month and 3 podcasts and yay, thanks Hoops and Cards. Great start to a lot of you, but keep learning, right? Keep sharpening your skills. Number 2, have a strategy. Have a plan. Where do you want to be? For some of you, it might just be collectors. I want to get all of the Donruss Net Marvels cards. Now that they're all affordable, they've only been out for 3 years. I want to get all of them as PSA 10s or all of them raw and have them great. Set goals. I want to get a Desmond Bane rookie patch auto. What do you want to do? And how do you want to do it? For your collection or for your investing, right? I want to start a time capsule box where I just sit at the dollar box and pick out 100 cards of prospect players, put those in a box and say, open them in 10 years. That'd be a fun thing to do. Or I want to buy, before he gets his 3rd MVP, I want to buy a Nikola Jokic Silver Prism rookie PSA 10. I don't know where you're at money wise, just have a strategy and stick to it. Number 3 would be learn eBay. This podcast is not affiliated with eBay. I'm not affiliated with eBay in any way. I just think to stay in touch with the market, some buying opportunities, how to sell anytime to the world's largest marketplace. I think it's important for you to know how to know your way around the eBay app, know how to create an attractive listing that people will find. We can do another episode about that, but you'll see several in the past for us. eBay, I think, is key if you're doing online buying and selling. If you're not, I still think it's key for knowing how people come up with price. Excuse me. I got the hiccups. Talking about eBay gets me choked up. I need some water, Brandon. Come on. Nathan, I need some water. Miller time. Hey, I want to give a random shout out to our Tigers. They won their game last night. Big comeback win. My favorite basketball player on the planet, Luke, my son, had several big shots, and it was just so cool to see their team come back. This is high school varsity basketball. So it was a blast, guys. But I got to get to the 4th thing. So sharpen your skills, have a strategy, get familiar with eBay. Number 4 is connect with people. get you some dogs, get you some peeps, jump in our Discord. You're not connected with anybody, we would love to connect with you. Message me on Hoops and Cards Instagram, like at Hoops and Cards, or send me an email, Gary@hoopsandcards.com. We will get you connected. We're going to have new ways to connect to Hoops and Cards and to our network around the world in these next few weeks that I'm going to release and announce. Hoops Plus has been that for a while, but we're kind of phasing that out. So thank you to all of our Hoops Plus members. We're moving on from that platform that is really rooted in anchor.com, because it limits us to members only from the United States. And that's a mistake, Anchor. Like, this is a global basketball deal. So we're going to have 2 new opportunities for you to connect with the Hoops and Cards world and the basketball card collectors and investors, just sharing the scoop, sharing the deal, celebrating our wins, learning continuously from each other. So I'll announce those in the coming next 2 weeks at the very least. So guys, sharpen your skills, have a strategy, eBay, and connect, right? Even if this is not a competition, nobody wins at the expense of other people. Like, you don't get a trophy for getting the best trade deal at a card show. And we're not all going to like show up and give speeches about how your investing strategy was just the best ever and just inspired the whole world. Like, it's not a race. It's not a competition. This is a game. It's fun. You get some good deals. You also lose some. Like, I gotta be real with you and say that there are times when I just have to admit that's an L. I'm selling that card. I'm moving on with my life. Like, that was a dumb time to buy. And so we do that here on the show, but realize it's about enjoying the game, connecting with each other, and maybe making some money. There are opportunities to do that, and celebrate it when you do, right? But what do you want to do, when, and how? 2023 will have some fantastic chances for you to do that. But we need to wrap this up, get to our rest of our New Year's celebration. I hope you guys have an awesome new year. I wanted to say go Cavaliers. I do hope Cleveland stays near the top. I want to thank you guys for listening as basketball card collectors and investors. You are what makes it worthwhile for me. You are why I love doing this. And just knowing that you, our listeners, are like in the trenches. You're doing the chasing your grails. You're doing the building your collections. You're doing the flipping, and you're celebrating it some with Instagram feeds and things. So thank you, Peter, Laszlo, Dave, John, Nathaniel, Lucho, Crooks, Peter, Dave, Jack, Michael, all you guys, Christian, you know who I'm talking about. Max, love you guys. Hope you have a great holiday, great new year, and we will see you in 23.